Right, buddy, we have some interesting BALEBA update. We have some news on Hoyland. We have some other interesting stories as well, which we will go through on this evening's update. So, let's start off by talking about Carlos BALEBA. Now, I came in from Indy Kalia, who again, let's be honest, was the first person to break the news on Carlos BALEBA. There's also some stuff on Garnacho as well, but this is what they had to say. An official bid for Manchester United from Manchester United for Carlos BALEBA is imminent after a board meeting held on Tuesday with Ruben Amorim. Amorim made it clear that Carlos BALEBA is a must signing for this summer, and the club's credit facility is in place, so they're ready to make a move. United are about to test Brighton's patience with a bid. Then after that, we got some other interesting stories. Brighton value Carlos BALEBA at more than £100 million. Manchester United currently unwilling to buy at that price. This is what David Ornstein said. Brighton haven't put a price on Carlos BALEBA yet. If that price comes and it's too high for United, then they will presumably go away. If it is achievable, then maybe they follow up the case. If they don't get him, do they look to somebody else? Because it's really important for Ruben Amorim and the club to get a midfielder, which we've known as well. Then this has come out, Manchester United pushing to try and sign and to reach an agreement with Brighton for Carlos BALEBA, who has an agreement with Manchester United for a contract until 2030 with the option to 2031. So he has got a deal in terms of contract already at Manchester United. So, listen, we know Brian prefer to keep him. Manchester United players have spoken with Carlos BALEBA about a possible transfer, discussing the club's project and ambition. BALEBA is open to joining. Now, on the Carlos BALEBA stuff, what I want to say, the stuff that came out from the Telegraph, which I believe was from Sam Wallace, who said that like the 100 million stuff Manchester United are not willing to pay. I'm pretty sure before we would have signed him, we would have kind of knew the price. I think we would have knew the price going into this, that it was going to be north or in that £100 million ball mark, and I think that's something that is kind of wide of the mark. Manchester United, before they've even approached, know kind of what sort of price they want. They've gone to the player first with personal terms. It's looking like now they're going to be discussing and negotiating with Brighton to see if they can get that deal done. On Carlos BALEBA, we know personal terms are not a problem. Manchester United have a deal in place until 2030 with an option for a further year. We know that Manchester United are heavily interested in signing him, and again, they're going to really want to pursue this deal because he is the midfielder that Ruben Amorim is pushing to sign, and is the midfielder that they want. Obviously, they know it's going to be very difficult. Brighton ideally do not want to sell him this summer and would rather wait till next summer. But again, the door is certainly open if United put in the right offer, which reportedly we are going to do. Nothing has come out from Antonio Romano about the bid, but it certainly is interesting seeing what's coming out from the reports today about this stuff. But yeah, it's looking like United are going to go with a bid soon. We'll see what that bid is. We'll obviously give it to you when that story does come out. But at the moment, the talks are ongoing between Manchester United and Brighton. Now, the next thing, Manchester United expecting Chelsea to make a formal offer for Garnacho. They value Garnacho at £50 million, while Chelsea believe they can sign him for a much significant less price. I mean, that is certainly something that Manchester United have to look at. I mean, getting Garnacho off the books for £50 million has to be the profile and the choice in which Manchester United go and do. We can't get him off the books for anything less. I think that is his market value. If for Manchester United to go out and get a midfielder, we really do have to sell Garnacho, and that is the price United are willing to negotiate. Nothing more, nothing less for him. So, see what has happened. It's looking like he wants to go to Chelsea, and they are going to be the team that does put in a move for him sooner rather than later, to be honest. Hopefully that deal does conclude soon, and then we can hopefully get some money for BALEBA and some other players as well. Now, Rasmus Højlund is reluctant to leave United this summer, but he fears he may have to move in order to get regular games. He's made it clear both publicly and privately to the bosses his preference is to stay at the club. United adamant that the club are not forcing Højlund out, but they are open to offers which will consider loan and permanent deals. So it's looking like Manchester United again. I think they do want to get out Højlund personally. I think he's a player who, again, is kind of surplus to requirements. He's one of those which he wants to stay at the club and fight for his place, which is something you can always respect. But I just don't think he's going to get regular minutes with Sesko being there. And you can see he's not really a priority to play for Ruben Amorim. Hence, he's been left out of the last pre-season game and hasn't really got many minutes. So if I was Højlund, from a footballer standpoint, you'd want to get as much minutes as he can, and that would be him probably leaving Manchester United. Now, the last thing, Jadon Sancho rejected a move to Besiktas. He's not ready to join the Turkish Super League. He's waiting for No, Juventus and Dortmund remain in the mix for Sancho, though talks with Dortmund have cooled recently. So it's looking like he's really waiting for kind of one of those two teams, Dortmund or Juventus, to come, and he doesn't want to go to the Super League. Again, it's difficult because Sancho doesn't want to leave. He's not the most ambitious player. He's happy to stay at Manchester United. He wants to get the move that's right for him, the money that's right for him, and so far no club has offered that for him. Again, he would be one of those players United would be focused on getting out, but it's just a problem to get out at the moment. But yeah, that's the latest update.